Alrighty, taking a look at our DMR from yesterday. Your first question was your name. Hopefully you typed that. Second question, which of the items above can you buy with the money below? We have $1. We have another dollar. We have a nickel. We have a dime. We have a dime. This is $2. Our change together makes 25 cents. So $2.25 is what we have. The hat costs $2.70. That's too expensive. The doll costs $3.71. That's too expensive. So we can buy neither item. Neither one. Okay. All right. Next one, choose all of the equations that this picture could represent. We have two groups, one group, two groups. Each group has 3 flowers inside of it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This means that we have 2 groups of 3 because altogether there are 6 flowers. We do not have 3 groups of 3, so that one's wrong. 3 plus 3 is also correct. This group of 3 plus this group of 3, that is repeated addition. 6 divided by 2, yes, there are 6 flowers divided into 2 groups, gives us 3 flowers in each group. 2 plus 3 equals 5. No, those are not equal groups. So there were 3, 1, 2, 3 possible answer choices for this one. Okay. All right. Next up, 4. Fill in the box with the fraction represented by the number line. On number lines, we count spaces. I have 1, 2, so my numerator is a 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces on the whole number line. So you should have selected the answer 2/5.
Wait, Miss Sue says that today's?
Nope, it was yesterday's, Monday, February 1st. And also, I just made a mistake and told you I would pause after each question, and I didn't do that. So let me go back up, okay? Questions on the first one with our money. Did anyone not understand why we could not buy either item? I'm so sorry, I forgot to ask questions. Okay, so we all did well on that. Money was our most recent skill. I figured we'd be okay. Next one, taking a look at our multiplication and division. Boom, there we go. Any questions on this one? Okie doke. Next one, looking at the fractions that we just solved, the number lines. Any questions on why it is 2/5? Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Okay. 5, compare the models. Choose the symbol that makes the comparison true. Remember, I showed you this yesterday. You can trace the outside of that shape. That's tiny. Look how long this one is. There is definitely more green over here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1/10. This is 7/10. 7/10 is more, so you should have selected the first option. 1/10 is less than 7/10. Any questions on that one? All right. 6, name the position of the underlined digit. This is a 9 that is underlined. The 9 is in the ones, tens, hundreds. It's in the tens place. This is in the tens position. Questions on that one? I saw a lot of you choose 90 because you were thinking about value. This is not about the value. It is about the position. And finally, round this number to the underlined place value. We can use our rounding roller coaster. We can use a number line. We can use a rhyme, 4 or less. Give it a rest, 5 or more. Raise the score. We have a 9 in the tens place that is underlined. The ones are going to tell that 9 what to do. That is a 3, which is 4 or less, so we will give it a rest down. 3 is also closer to the smaller side of a number line and would go backwards on a rounding roller coaster. The next question is, what are the tens? Well, 790 would be the smaller 10 of 793. After 90 is a new 100, so we would have 800 over here. This rounds down or backwards to 790. Woohoo! Fireworks! Yay! All right, questions on that one? Leah.
I thought that was like underline the, so it said underline the place of value position. I thought it meant like don't put 790, put the like where it's there. So I put 90.
That would be if it asked you for the value. What is the value of this underlined digit? This is this says round, so that's what we got to do there. But good catch. All right, lovely. That is your DMR. Your next DMR will be unlocked to you today at 12:15. Okay. All right, we are going to take a look at continuing our conversation of comparing like denominators. Looking at your work yesterday, you did a nice job with comparing like denominators. So we are ready to look at our textbook, and I will be taking a grade on your comparing like denominators today. Okay, so if you have questions because you're not sure what to do independently, now is the time to ask them. Okay, all right. To get us started, we're going to take a look at our success criteria. Our goal for the day is as follows.
Today we are going to be continuing our comparing two fractions. Today we're going to continue on with comparing two fractions with the same denominator by reasoning about their size based on the same whole. So again, we are going to be looking at those with the same denominator and the same size. So we will be going back to using those vocabulary words such as fraction, denominator, compare, symbols, justify. And remember, again, we're talking about when the size of the whole is the same and the denominators are the same, which means that the unit fractions are all the same.
Alrighty, we talked yesterday about why it is important to make sure the whole is the same size, okay? If I have a cookie that's this big and I say, ooh, I'm gonna have half of that. And then you say, can I have half? And I say, yeah. And I grab a cookie that's this big, you're gonna be mad, right? And I say, here you go, because that's not the same size, okay? So when we are comparing fractions, we gotta make sure that the whole thing is the same size before we begin, okay? On Halloween, if I were to give you 1/2 of a king-size Snicker bar, and then I were to give your little brother 1/2 of a jumbo 1-pound Snickers bar, you'd be like, hey, not cool. And you'd be right because they're different sizes. Okay, so we got to look at the same size whole. All right. Today, as you are working, if you feel like you need more examples in the teaching slides, there are 2 videos connected. Mr. McKinney has put together a nice reminder about the same size whole. There's also a quick YouTube video that is only 1.5 minutes long. So if you're working and you think, oh, brain fart, I don't remember, you can check out these in the instructional videos. Okay. All right, right now I'm going to ask you to get ready to work on an activity together. So please go to Seesaw, click on that light bulb to refresh if you have not yet done so. All righty, so over here It says, with your teacher, review success criteria. We have done that. Watch the teaching videos. We're getting ready to take a look at the textbook video. That textbook video is going to match an example inside of your work. So let's click on Add Response so you can see that example. Okay. All right. Before we take a look at this, I want us to get warmed up with our textbook video. Remember, there are pauses here where I will be having you answer questions about what you see on the screen. So listen and think.
How can you compare fractions with the same denominator? Think about this question during the lesson. Two banners with positive messages are the same size. One banner is 4/6 yellow, and the other banner is 2/6 yellow. Which is greater, 4/6 or 2/6? Remember, comparisons are valid or true only if they refer to the same sized whole. How are 4/6 and 2/6 the same?
How are 4/6 and 2/6 the same? What is the same inside of these fractions, William?
Their size. The only thing different is that there's like the purple on the left side, there's a lot less, except on the right, there's a lot more. And the same thing
Yes.
with the yellow.
So the size of the whole banner is the same. The size is the same. They are both this tall. If I draw a line straight across, they're the same size. Okay, as William pointed out, the difference is the color content of them. There's different amounts of colors inside. So the size is the same. Look at the number fractions down here. What else is the same? 2/6, 4/6. What else is the same? Leah?
The fraction.
4/6 and 2/6 aren't exactly the same, but what part is the same?
The bottom.
Yes, that denominator. They are both 6. Okay, they are both working with 6 parts. So they both have 6 pieces on them. Awesome.
Both have the same denominator, or the same total number of equal parts of the whole.
The denominator is the number down under the numerator.
How are 4/6 and 2/6 different?
Alrighty, next question. How are 4/6 and 2/6 different? We've talked about how they're the same. How are they different? Levin, how are 4/6 and 2/6 different?
4/6 has a higher numerator.
Yes, this is a larger numerator.
6 has a lower numerator.
Yes, 2/6 has a lesser numerator or less parts identified. Wonderful. Great math vocabulary use, Levin.
Both have different numerators, or different equal parts that are described.
All right, we're going to try it and warm up here. Drag 1/6 strips to make a row that shows 4/6, then drag 1/6 strips to show a row that makes 2/6. That picture that we just saw was a little bit difficult to understand because it didn't have the division lines. All it showed you was this much is purple and this much is yellow, and it was expecting you in your mind to imagine those sections. Okay, that can be difficult for us. So we're going to go ahead and create a visual representation now. We have 4/6. There's 1/1/6, 2/1/6, 3/1/6, and 4/1/6. It says then drag 1/6 strips to show a row that makes 2/6. Here's 1/1/6, 2/1/6. We can very clearly see now which one is greater or larger.
Use fraction strips to reason about the sizes of these two fractions. 4/6 is 4 of the unit fraction 1/6. 2/6 is 2 of the unit fraction 1/6. So 4/6 is greater than 2/6. Record the comparison using symbols or words. What is the missing symbol?
All right.
Select your answer.
Okay. Shaking heads yes. Shaking heads no. Is 4/6 equal to 2/6? Getting no's, okay. Is 4/6 greater than 2/6? Getting a lot of yeses. Is 4/6 less than 2/6? Smaller. Ooh, mixed response. No, it is not. Our alligator mouth would open or eat 4/6. 4 1/6 pieces is longer, larger, or greater than 2 1/6 pieces. So we would want our alligator mouth to be open the same way.
4/6 is greater than 2/6. If two fractions have the same denominator, the fraction with the greater numerator is the greater fraction. Now you know how you can compare fractions with the same denominator.
All right. On your seesaw, there is an example of this that we're going to work together. Okay, so go ahead and get back to that slide 1 with me. And it says, Maria and Evan, move this really quick. There we go. Maria and Evan are both jogging a mile. Maria has jogged 7/8 of a mile. Evan has jogged 3/8 of a mile. Who has jogged a shorter distance? So important to me are that Maria has gone 7/8 of a mile. Evan has jogged 3/8 of a mile. Solve this problem any way you choose and explain how you decided. They've drawn us these nice little bars right here, so I'm going to go ahead and use those because I think that's smarter, not harder. Maria, I'm going to write her fraction. Please write with me. 7/8. Evan jogged 3/8. Now, some of you might already be saying, duh, I know which one, but it says solve and it also says explain. So you've got to have something on your screen to explain, okay? So I'm going to create 8s. I know the 8s are an even number because it has 8 parts, so I can cut it right down the middle. So go ahead and split your fraction bar right down the middle. I'm then going to cut those halves in half. So I'm going to look at just the left side and cut that in half. Look at just the right side and cut that in half. Right now I have 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know that 8 is double of 4. So if I double these by cutting them in half again, I'm going to get 8s. So now I'm going to cut those 4ths in half. A half for you, a half for you, a half for you, and a half for you. Now notice that Evan is also an 8s. So instead of recreating Evans a whole bunch of times, I'm just going to drag exactly straight down. So watch. Here's my half, go straight down, put it in the exact same place for Evan. There's a line, go straight down, put it in the exact same place for Evan. There's a line, go straight down, put it in exactly the same place for Evan. There's a line, drag it down, put it in the exact same place for Evan. You're creating the exact same model for Evan because the denominator tells how many parts there are, and that says 8 parts. So now that we have our models created, I can go ahead and shade them. Maria has 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You shade 7/8 of Maria's as well. And again, I like to use that highlighter tool. That way it's kind of see-through and I can still see the partitions or the division lines that I made. Now we have Evan with 3/8. I'm going to shade 3. 1, 2, 3. This makes it very easy to see that Evan jogged a shorter distance. The question was about the shorter distance. Evan is much shorter than Maria's. Excuse me. So now it says explain. I'm going to grab a text box. You do the same. Evan jogged shorter because when the denominator is the same, hi, Oscar. We are on an activity on Seesaw that was just released to you. It's at the very top, and we're on slide 1 right now. Do as much of slide 1 with us as you can, and any part that you miss is okay. We're going to work on slide 2 next, okay? So don't freak out about being behind. You're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Evan jogged shorter because when the denominator is the same, the numerator can tell which is larger by having more. That's a lot to type. I'll give you a moment to get that done. We can only use the numerator to help us when the denominator is the same. So this trick works when the denominator is the same. If we have the same number of parts on the whole, obviously, whichever person or pie or pizza or Skittle bag or whatever has more on the numerator, a greater number, it's going to be the larger fraction, okay? All right, let's take a look at slide 2. Slide 2 says with your teacher. All right, with your teacher, it says use appropriate tools. We are going to use fraction strips. You guys are not at school for me to give you a box of fraction strips, so we're going to be using them digitally. You are also going to be using digital fraction strips for your independent work today. Here's how you are going to do that. Over here is a link that says Toy Theater. I want you to watch me first. When I click on this link, it will open up a box for me. Here it is. And this is my fraction strips. Now look what happens. Let's say right here it says we need 6. Do we see that? 5, 6, and 3, 6. I need 6. On my denominator, I'm going to click the arrow and look what happens down here. That's halves, that's thirds, that's fourths, that's fifths, that's 6. I have 6. Okay? Q, focus please. This says I need 5, 6. So now that I have 6, look what I'm going to do to my numerator. 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, and I'm going to drag it. Okay. Same thing here. 3/6. I got to create another fraction. I have 5, 4, 3. There's my 3/6. Okay. I want you to go ahead and play with this and practice right now. So on Seesaw, click on that link. Practice making fractions and dragging them into the boxes here. Okay, go ahead and practice that for a few minutes. So now that you've got some fraction strips that you can use, you are going to explain how you can use fraction strips to show whether 5/6 or 3/6 of the same whole is greater. Okay, let's get a text box ready because our directions tell us to explain, not show. So explain. I can line up. I am typing, you are typing. I can line up 5 1/6 pieces. I can line up 5 1/6 pieces. And 3 1/6 pieces. I can line up 5 1/6 pieces and 3 1/6 pieces. To see which is longer. And that's it. I can line up 5 1/6 pieces and 3 1/6 pieces to see which is longer. This asked us to explain how. That is how. That is what we would do. It did not ask us to show. It did not ask us to draw. It asked us to explain. We explained how we could do that. Questions on how you can use fraction strips? Terrence.
I didn't mean to put my hand up.
Okay. All right. Number 2, this one does ask us. It says, which is greater, 3/4 or 2/4? Draw 1/4 strips to complete the diagram and answer the question. I am okay if you guys would rather use this tool than drawing. Okay, that's what I'm going to use. So I'll show you that. It says we need 3/4 or 2/4. Now, some of you are saying, duh, it's 3/4. That has more pieces. But it asks you to draw. So you have to show a picture. Okay? So I'm going to use the fraction strips. I welcome you to do the same. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to erase the ones we were practicing with by taking them down in here. We need to set up our denominators. It says fourths. I'm at 6 right now. I'm going to go back down to fourths. Okay. Right now, mine says 4/4. When I look back at Seesaw, I need 3/4. So I'm going to take this numerator down. And there are 3 out of 4 yellow parts, 3/4. And I'm going to put that in one of the boxes to hold its place. So create 3/4. You can do this by drawing on Seesaw if you prefer, or you can use this diagram and take a screenshot like we're getting ready to do. Miss Sousa, my screenshot doesn't work. Okay, then I guess you're going to be using the drawing tools, and you guys know how to draw fractions. I taught you 3 weeks ago, and you have notes if you don't. Yes, William.
Could I take a picture of it and
Yes,
send it to you?
that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it on Seesaw. All right, so there's 3/4. Our other fraction is 2/4. So now on my fraction bars, I'm going to go down to 2/4. And I'm going to put them right there next to that 3/4. Okay. Now you're getting ready to take a screenshot. So go ahead and take a screenshot of your 2/4 and your 3/4. You have to do it differently than me. And I'm going to put it right down here where it belongs. Boom.
How do you take a screenshot?
Remember, if you don't know how to take a screenshot, you're going to have to draw. I can also send you a video of how to do that. But right now, we got to focus on the math. Ms. Sharp has videos to show. If you are struggling with the screenshot, you can do the drawing tools right down here. Those are terrible fourths. Don't draw them like that. Please don't. I'll cry. All right. So it says, which is greater, 3/4 or 2/4? Draw 1/4 strips to complete the diagram and answer the question. So let's answer the question. I'm going to do it over here because I'm out of space right there. We have 3/4 and we have 2/4. It asks which is greater. We know that 3/4 is longer than 2/4. We can see it is longer because it goes all the way out to here. This one is empty. So this is our answer to the question. Justin, the website is right here on this little link. Okay. Let's take a look at 3 and 4. It says in 3 and 4, compare, write less than, greater than, or equal to. Use fraction strips to help. This time they put the fraction strips there for you. You do not have to draw them or take a screenshot of them. They're right there. We have 2/8 and we have 1/8. I can see that 2/8 is right here. 1/8 is right here. 2/8 is longer. So 2/8 is greater than 1/8. Questions on why 2/8 is greater than 1/8? Alrighty. Number 4, it says 3/6 and 5/6. Here's my 3/6. Here's my 5/6. 5/6 is longer. It goes all the way here. This space is empty. So 3/6 is less than 5/6. Remember, that comparison symbol is always open to the larger piece, like a hungry alligator. It wants to chomp the biggest bite. Any questions on that? Okay. Alrighty, let's take a look at slide 3. Slide 3.
Hey guys.
Slide 3 is right here, and it says draw a model for each fraction, then compare. I would like to use my fraction bars. I find those more fun, so that is what I am going to do. If you need to draw, that is totally fine. You can draw with your fraction bars. You can also use your shapes tool and create a large rectangle that you then chop. You can do it however you choose. I'm going to use the fraction bars because I know those are exciting. Okay. I need the fractions 3/6 and 2/6. So on my tools, I'm going to erase what I had. Goodbye, goodbye. I need to get to 6, 4ths, 5ths, 6ths. There they are. And I need 3 of them. Putting it in the placeholder. 3, 6. On Seesaw, it also says 2, 6. So there's 3, 6. I'm going to take my numerator down to 2 and right there. Now I'm going to take a screenshot of it. I'm going to take a screenshot of 2, 6 and 3, 6. Your guys' screenshot is different because I'm not on a Chromebook. So you take it how you need to. And I'm going to put my picture up here. Boom. 3, 6 and 2, 6. So step 1, draw a model. Check. Step 2, compare. 3, 6 is longer than 2, 6 because this is empty. So I would write my comparison symbol like this. Any questions on that? All right. Today, you are going to complete the rest of this for independent practice that is going to be graded, okay? So you are getting graded on slide 4. You are getting graded on slide 5. You are getting graded on slide 6. You are getting graded on slide 7. Slide 8 says challenge. This is extra credit. Okay. You are not going to delete slides. You should try not to rearrange slides. You have slides 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Or I apologize, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for a grade. Okay. The link is here for the fraction bars. Feel free to use that as you need. Make sure you look at the directions. Sometimes it doesn't tell you to draw a picture. Sometimes the picture is there for you. Sometimes it says if you need it. So you do not always have to have that if you feel like you got it down. Okay? If it tells you to draw it, then you need it. All right, that is your graded work.